Here is the beautiful 1965 Mustang Fastback. It's a forgotten race car, hasn't been started since the 90s. We're gonna kind of go through it and start fixing stuff up. I'll kind of show you like the ins and outs. So like if you look right here, you can see basically it's starting to crack. So they had a lot of Bondo work, some fiberglass. You can see right here on these panels, you can see it's starting to crack, the fiberglass fender flares. You know, so it's gonna need some stuff. It's got a pretty cool, let me show you the interior here. You got the dash with the American flag, America. Very kind of generic interior, but like I said, this was a race car. It wasn't really meant to be a stylish everyday driver. It's got the roll cage in it and everything. So we're gonna have to take all that off. I don't know why it has a trailer hitch on it for some reason, but that's gonna go away. We're gonna rip that off. Let's go ahead and show you the trunk. So the good news is there is no rust. The only rust I found on the whole car is on the passenger door, which I'm gonna show you here in a second. Let's go ahead and close that up. If you look at the passenger side right here, you're gonna see the exact same thing. We got a huge crack. Kind of zoom in there so you guys can see that. The whole flare is coming apart. So we're gonna have to go ahead and pull that piece off, pull it out, grind all the way around it, make sure it's bare metal, put some bulldog adhesive. We're going to do a Duraglass fitting around there, and then we're going to flare out the fiberglass about 3 or 4 inches all the way across to make sure it has a correct bond inside of it, as well as doing the wheel well. Because pretty much this is what happens when you just stick Bondo and you kind of smoosh it on there and lay it over. There's nothing to bond it to the body, so after time it does pop up. But then again, like I said, this wasn't the show car, this was a race car. They knew this thing would be blown out either by a tire or somebody crashed into them, so it's not that big of a deal. We go through the side here. Like I said, the interior is a little crazy, like I said, with the American flag dash. A little fire hydrant in there, fire extinguisher in the side. Alright, here's all the rust for the vehicle. You can see that spot right there. So I don't know if they got this door off another Mustang or something when it got crashed, or if it's original, but that's pretty much where the majority of the rust is. Fenders are fiberglass. They got a really cool flare out. I love the look and stance of this car. I know it's a race car, but we're going to make this something that's going to be a daily driver. And like I said, I won't say too much in this video, but there's a really cool thing we're going to be doing with this car, which I'll go into in the second video, which will be kind of like a build premiere. Let's go ahead and take a look at the front. So it's half 67 Fastback, half 67, or excuse me, 65 Fastback / 67. It's got the Eleanor kind of front end on it, the lower valance. They took the chrome bumper off the front, if you could see. We got kind of a honeycomb generic grille. This for racing. If you look down here, we see some more type of mesh. If you guys don't know, I actually got asked a few questions. People thought it was really cheesy to have this kind of, I don't know if you can see this, like chicken wire type of mesh. What that is, if you're not into racing, this is to make sure that whatever debris comes off the track and hits your grill, it doesn't basically take out your radiator right away. So most race cars, you'll see they'll have a grill, and then right behind it, you'll see kind of like mesh. That's a double layer to make sure that none of the road debris from the racetrack actually takes out your radiator. Because there's nothing worse than spending a bunch of money building a motor, or if you have a turbo motor, and one little piece of garbage punctures your intercooler, gets inside there and blows up your motor, or it takes out your radiator, and then you're gone all day at the track. You're basically stuck there. Here's the 289. It's, like I said, it hasn't run since the 90s. It's been sitting there for quite some time. The couple we got it from, Steve and his lovely wife, they're actually getting ready to start over and make a move into Texas. So this is where we got it from. They used to race it, but it just kind of sits there now. So we promised them once we get this fixed, we're going to take them out on the track, so this way they can enjoy it one more time before they leave Vegas. So like I said, outside wise, the car is outstanding. It is very, very beautiful. When I was towing it in to the shop, we had people stopping at us, waving at us, trying to make us offers. All the car flippers here in Vegas, they've kind of seen this on my Instagram and Facebook page, so they've already reached out to me. But I'm going to tell you right now, this car is not for sale. We're keeping it to restore it. We're going to do some great stuff with it. Possibly a giveaway, which, like I said, we're going to go into in a later video. I love the look of it. So I'll be honest with you, if I had it my way, I would take this over the, I don't know if you can see it there in the back. Let me see if I can zoom in. Oh no, that's not the zoom button. I think that's the zoom button. Anyways, you can see my Mercedes-AMG GT over there. I would rather drive this every single day than my AMG GTS, because like I said, it's a beautiful car. It's very sleek. But this car, I'm telling you, every time you pull up to a parking lot, people can't do anything but smile and laugh. And they love this thing.
Game begin.
Okay, we got the Mustang in the air right now. Looks pretty awesome. Let's take a look and see what we're working with. So, big thing we're looking at is for any type of rust, which I don't see anything here. Looks pretty good. I mean, typical older classic car. It's leaking oil everywhere like it should. Brake, suspension, the frame looks good, so it looks like it hasn't been modified too much. No damage, it hasn't been sectioned out. A lot of these people try to put the Mustang 2 front ends on them and they don't know how to weld and they screw it all up. If we look down the frame down here, we don't see anything. Doesn't look too bad. I see a little bit of shitty welding right there. It's no big deal. Rear end looks good, just needs to be taken apart and resealed. Some more shitty welding, so we're gonna have to cut all that off and weld it back in, box in the frame. No rust. Let's take a look at the back here. So this is not the original gas tank, this is aftermarket, so it's not too bad. We're gonna take off this solid chrome trailer hitch. I have no idea why you'd want to put a trailer hitch on a race car, but whatever. Let's keep scrolling down here. Shitty exhaust, it's all rusted. Yeah, so far it's not looking too bad. Everything looks pretty easy to fix. Doesn't need a whole lot. So now it's just the fact of tearing it all apart and then getting it set apart. Okay, so now that we kind of went over the build status of what we're actually going to do to it, we're basically going to bring it back to almost factory original type of status. We're going to fix everything, keep the original motor, the drivetrain in there. Originally we're going to switch it out for 5.0 Coyote, but with this particular build we have a plan where we want to keep it as original as we can and make the exterior a little bit more updated. What I mean by that is, like I said, we're going to change the wheels to something a little bit more modern. These drip rails gotta go. To me, once you shave those off, the cars look so much more modern. A lot of the chrome that you see all the way across the sides here, we're going to be taking off the chrome and paint matching it with the body. There are going to be a few, like the window trim here is going to be chrome, but like the handles, the bumpers, stuff like that, the wheels, none of this stuff is going to be chrome anymore. We're going to get rid of that. I love this back window. Originally we were talking about taking this out and putting in the gills on the back end, but after I've looked at these, I've only seen a handful that actually have the windows in the back end, so we're going to go ahead and keep that. It's such a very sleek, classic figure. Now, the 67 rear end, at first I didn't like it, but now that I kind of like it, because people that know the Mustang see the tail lights, are like, oh, 67, 68, but when they see the side of it, they're like, that looks like a 65, so it's kind of a nice blend. So we're going to keep that. Like I said, we're going to get rid of that trailer hitch because that thing is just hilarious. Sorry, it's a little windy out here in Vegas right now. And the other reason why, let me flip this around so I can talk to you guys. So the other reason why we haven't been making videos is we had kind of a transition period. I'm stepping back a little bit more from the dealership end to focus more on making more videos for YouTube. I've been flying out to Texas, Atlanta, New York, and Pennsylvania doing some consulting for dealerships, helping them get up and running. So if you guys have any questions about that, you can go ahead and message me. I'll leave my information down below. But also the shop that we were going to build out strictly for YouTube, the gentleman that owned it actually wound up getting an insane offer because I was right across the street from the new Raiders Stadium, and right now that real estate's extremely hot, so they made an offer he couldn't refuse. I don't blame him, so we had to move back to the other lot, the old shop, so you can see the shop behind me. We're getting it cleaned up right now. Let me take you inside here. We got all this stuff. It's probably a little dim lights here, but we got all the stuff on the trailer that we're going to move back over here. We got all the bays lined up. We got the MR2 project. It's still there. We're still going to do it. but right now it's being put on hold because of the actual Mustang. Getting some stuff cleaned up in the back there. We got to get all this stuff organized so this way we can get the shop up and ready. This is where kind of the YouTube studio is going to be. There goes Mario. So like I said, a lot of really cool stuff coming up. Like I said, I apologize, I haven't been making more videos, but this is going to be the first big one we're going to do. And like I said, I'm not going to tell you everything we're going to do. That's going to be in the next video.